Hey everyone, I'm King. Welcome back to King Spade channel. So the skin shop NPC had updated a new list of headgears, and there are some headgears that are worth to get. The Firmament Horn headwear that give 5 crit and 8% crit damage, and the Nebelian Star Back Wear that have 5% penetration and also has a chance to increase 200 physical attack in exchange for 100 defense and magic defense reduce. But in this video, we are going to test for the Nebelian Star Back Wear. Will it be worth it for the ranger especially? For that, we are going to make a DPS test. For comparison, we are going to make a test between the Nebelian Star Back Wear and the Devil Wing Back Wear. The Devil Wing has 5% damage, so which one will have more damage, the Nebelian Star or the Devil Wing? To start, let's get the Nebelian Star Back Wear at the skin limited NPC. Alright, and let's do the test. I'm going to make 2 tests. One is for the auto attack and one is with using skill, specifically the Deadly Snipe skill, because that is the build that I'm going for. First, let's make a test with the auto attack. Let's test it using the Devil Wing first. My auto attack deal about 186,000 damage. Now let's switch to the Nebelian Star Back Wear. The auto attack damage is now deal around 193,000 damage, an increase of about 3.5%. Not much, but definitely there's an increase. Now let's test it with the Deadly Snipe skill. Let's test it with the Devil Wing first. I'm going to test it with the furthest range that the Deadly Snipe skill can deal damage. The Deadly Snipe skill range is 13 meters, more than double of the typical range attack at 5 meters. The damage with the Devil Wing Back Wear is about 345,000 damage. Alright, next let's change to the Nebelian Star. The base damage is actually lower than the Devil Wing at 341,000 damage, but once the effect is triggered with the additional 200 attack, the damage is then increased to about 357,000, an increase of around 3.3% damage. There is another effect for the Nebelian Star Back Wear. It has a chance to summon the Star Blast to deal AoE damage. So let's see the effect. At the Deadly Snipe skill furthest range, the Star Blast summon attack does not reach the target. It deals no damage. So let's get closer and see the effect again. Wow, surprisingly it deal about 445,000 damage, 24% higher than the Deadly Snipe skill damage. That is impressive, but it has a very low chance to trigger. I waited for about 3 to 4 minutes for the effect to be triggered when using the Deadly Snipe skill. For auto attack, the effect has higher chance to proc with the fast attack. It triggered around about 1 to 2 minutes. Now let's test on some real instance MVP. I just found out that you can actually change the dummy to have stat similar to the instance MVP. You can do that by going to the dummy and select the powerful monster tab on the right. Here you can select which instance and MVP you want to test. For this, I'm going to test on the Ponep Museum Dragon. Let's test it with using the Devil Wing first. My auto attack deal about 304,000 damage. Notice that the damage is higher than the previous test. That is because the dragon is an undead race and I am using fire element attack. I changed my attack to fire element using the fire converter. Fire element deals 2 times the damage towards the undead race target. Now let's switch to the Nebelian Star Back Wear. The auto attack damage is now deal around 315,000 damage, an increase of about 3.6%, almost similar percentage increase with just the dummy. Now let's look at the Star Blast effect. It deals about 543,000 damage. Surprisingly, deal way more damage. That is an increase of 73% damage than the normal attack. Well, perhaps because it is a skill attack and probably has a certain skill damage multiplier. Now let's test it with the Deadly Snipe skill. Let's test it with the Devil Wing first. The damage with Devil Wing Back Wear is about 489,000 damage. Right, next let's change to the Nebelian Star. The base damage dealt 484,000, lower than the Devil Wing damage. But once the effect is triggered with the additional 200 attack, the damage is then increased to about 509,000, an increase of around 4% damage. Unfortunately, for this time around, I can't seem to be able to trigger the Star Blast effect. I waited for 10 minutes and it still does not proc the effect. Right, that is the DPS test for the Nebelian Star Back Wear. The 5% penetration stat although looks great, but against the Devil Wing 5% damage, it still does lower damage. But with the extra 200 attack effect, when it is triggered, which is not that hard to proc, it has 50% chance. With just few hits, even with using skill, it is easy to proc. It then deals higher damage, about 3 to 4% damage increase. Not that high, but an increase nonetheless. Alright, what do you think of the Nebelian Star Back Wear? Is it worth it? Let me know at the comment below. That's it for this video. This time video shout out goes to... Thank you for always supporting me and this channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video. And as always, happy playing. Bye bye.